Years. 25-year-old Travis Breeding was diagnosed with Asperger syndrome just a few years ago. Now he hopes to help and inspire others through his book, I Want to Be Like You, Life with Asperger Syndrome. The first-time author is here now to talk about the book. Good morning, Travis.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for being here. What was life like for you before being diagnosed with Asperger's?
It was just a struggle. It was kind of, you knew something was different, knew something was wrong. Wasn't sure exactly what it was. Kind of went through school without answers. And Asperger's is so hard for teachers to deal with because it's a combination of things, and this is why it's also tricky in diagnosis. We can get into that in the next question here, but it's just, there's so much variations to it, and I think of it more as a personality thing. It's just a personality trait. It's not really a disorder or there's just, society has to accept people are different and, move on and deal with that.
Yeah, and we did touch on it's difficult to diagnose. It took 22 years for you. So now that you know, how is life different?
It's different because there's answers, and as soon as I got diagnosed, I started studying, and I dove into, and it actually became an interest of finding out what Asperger's is, reading some of Dr. Tony Atwood's work. There's phenomenal people, Temple Grandin, but Asperger's is so hard to diagnose, and it often gets misdiagnosed as ADHD or OCD, and I refer to it, you got to look at Asperger's, and this is why it's so hard for teachers. Asperger's is like a tree, and the tree has many branches. The branches of the tree are like OCD, ADHD, bipolar, anxiety, schizophrenia. There's so many different things, and on any given day you can have one of those branches acting up, and that's why it's so hard to not only diagnose, but hard for a teacher who's preparing her lesson plans on a Sunday evening for the week to say, well, this kid's going to react this way this day or this way the next day. It's not like planning for a kid who's got a strict diagnosis of, ADHD, where you know what to plan for and expect.
I've got about 30 seconds left. Tell me, why did you decide to write this book?
I wrote the book in hopes of allowing parents into the mind. I wrote it like a journal entry, and I wanted to allow parents directly inside the mind of someone who lives with it on a daily basis, because it's one of those things where Asperger's, you can read technical stuff about it and technical terminology, and what I did was broke down the technical terminology and explained it from my point of view and how it affects me, in hopes of allowing teachers and parents to understand better.
Okay, Travis, thank you so much for coming in and talking about it. It is a pleasure to meet you.
You too.